Welcome to this edition of Ebony Butterfly. I'm your host, Ebony Butterfly. This is my co-host for today, Lynn Lynn. Say hi, Lynn.
Hey.
Hey. So today we're going to be talking about reliable D, and which could mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. But also, audience, remember to like, subscribe, and share this. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up or a heart. Okay, so Lynn, you and I have been talking lately about reliable D and what reliable D means to you. So what does reliable D mean to you?
Well, reliable D can mean a lot of things to a lot of people.
Right.
It's the D that is faithful. But what does faithful mean? That means is it just your D?
Do you need it to be faithful?
I need it to be faithful when it's coming to me.
In order for it to be reliable, does it have to be faithful? Okay, I mean, and that's okay.
When it's coming my way, it needs to be reliable and do the things I need it to do. And those things are not just about the physical.
Right, absolutely.
That reliable D encompasses so many things.
Right.
Bills are paid.
Absolutely.
Stress is relieved.
How does reliable D relieve stress?
Well, not just about the endorphins, but those are important too. But it relieves stress because it gives you a sense of security. When you know what's yours is yours. If your stuff is all over the place, it's not reliable, not to you. It's just available. And if it's available to anybody, you are an option opposed to a priority. And that makes the D no longer reliable for me.
Well, I don't know if I could, I don't know if I could agree with that. So
Okay.
I think that, reliable D relieves stress, absolutely. Can take care of you financially, physically, and emotionally. But what if reliable D could do all of that and still be able to do that for someone else also, but it still doesn't take anything away from you?
Well, it can still be reliable.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's open access. And that's a conversation. If our communication, our line of communication is open to the point that we agree that these things can be shared,
right?
Okay. But if we're not in agreement that the things can be shared, then that's a problem.
Right.
But it's a conversation because more people are open to that than not. It's just not a subject that's typically talked about.
I agree that more people are open to that type of subject than that. And actually, you and I another day will touch on that, that subject. But for today, we're going to talk about reliable D and what it means. And absolutely, a reliable D has to be able to financially take care of you. And yes, and physically take care of you.
Yes.
And okay, in saying that, so what if you're a reliable D that can financially take care of you?
Okay.
Isn't where you need them to be physically? Is it still reliable D?
It can still be reliable D because you can the physical aspect you can work on, and you can work on that
if they're willing. If they're willing.
But if they're not, then that's a choice you have to make. You have to decide, well, is this a deal breaker? My D not defending me and uplifting me would be more substantial than the physical appearance of
what do you mean
as the D is being presented?
When you say defending you, like what would
you got my back? You got my you are my ride or die
in any situation. And we're not talking about just out there throwing blows. We're talking about
not just throwing blows. Just be it the conversation. If I'm hurting, you feeling for me. You don't necessarily have to hurt the way I hurt, but you have to be able to nurture and care for me because life's life. And
right.
If I can't rely on you to have my back, just the physical aspect of it. And when it comes to the finance, I can make my own money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So if that's all you have to bring to the table, for me, the reliable D is a complete package.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the emotional, the physical, the financial, the friendly, the communication. All the dynamics come together, and that's what actually builds that wonderful, magnificent
And I think when you just mentioned friendly, I think for me, like reliability, the friendship aspect is so important. If you could be friends with your reliable D, that just takes everything to a whole nother level. Like, cause I know lots of couples. Not let me not say lots. I know a few couples that don't even speak to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when they're not speaking to each other, just it's like the whole household is in turmoil. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it just, and to me, that's not reliability. Because if I have a man that I'm not speaking to or won't speak to me, when something happens out in the street, just say if somebody came to my reliability and was like, "Hey, Ebony is yada 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 yada," I need you to check that. And I don't care if Ebony is yada 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 or not. But you can't come to me and be like, you know what I'm saying? You can't come to me and talk about my reliable D. I don't care what he's doing. Like
at the end, that's right. I that is mine. So if I come to you, if I confide in you and tell you issues that I might be having, and even it could be right, it could be bad. Who knows? But whatever I share with you about my reliable, when you choose to step on the other side and decide that you get to bite the back out, that's when I check you. That's my role. That's my seat to hold, not someone else's.
Yeah. Well, okay. In saying that, okay, let's just sort of veer off a little bit. Still on topic.
Okay.
So, just say your reliable D is beating you.
Okay.
Do you feel like it wouldn't be a friend's place to be like, you might need to get some help?
No, I think that would be a friend. A friend's place can say to get help.
Okay.
I don't think a friend cannot give you counsel and advice, and that's good advice. What a friend can't do is tell me, "Or you're gonna have to leave him," or "You're gonna have to," Am I the woman that's gonna let a man beat on me? No. However, I would tell a friend you need to get help, but I will never. I don't care what a person's situation is. I'll never tell anybody to leave their significant others, because it has to be when enough's enough for you.
Right.
And I would support that. As a friend, I'm going to support you ride or die, whatever you decide to do. And I'm going to be there as your sounding board or whatever you need. But what I'm never going to do is come against something that you value. And that aspect, as far as telling you got to leave.
I think if I knew one of my friends are being beat or something like that, or
we might have to go over there and beat his ass. I'm sorry, beat his butt together. Beat him down real quick. But we can still love him, hug him after the fact. Your parents used to whip your butt and give you a hug after the fact, right?
Hug. I think, but I feel like if one of my friends was like and I knew that they were being abused by a partner, I'd be like, especially physical abuse, I'd be like, you're gonna have to leave. Now, if I had a friend and I knew that her reliable D was like stepping out on her and things like that, I wouldn't tell her to leave that. I mean, while she's talking to me, I'd give her
abuse.
But see, and I agree. But while she's talking to me, I would tell her what I think about it and that I don't like it. But I wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, you need to leave. That's just me.
I agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, you need to leave. I'm like, y'all need to decide. But I would definitely let her know that I probably wouldn't stay. You know what I mean? But that's y'all's decision. And, and maybe y'all can decide that this works for you. I don't know.
Well, I think that I know people that their reliable D would not encompass the things that we talked about today. Their reliable D is just the physical. You know what I mean?
Because and that's not reliable.
But in their mindset. So your perception is your reality. Doesn't have to be the truth.
That's very true.
So they just look at the fact that they come home and a man is going to eventually make his way home. And they get to lay next to one or wake up next to one. He might be a video gamer all day, not going out working. It's so many women that hold on and embrace things like that because they just want to have that identity to say that they have a man. It's really the most unreliable thing they can have. But again, their perception is their reality. So they think there's nothing wrong with their seeing. And stuff like that, I speak against because my thing is there's nothing wrong with encouraging a man, and there's nothing wrong with having a man with potential. But what I'm not going to do is drag. I'm not going to drag you to your destiny. You got to be willing to get there. It means you have to put something into it. And a lot of people don't.
That's interesting. Because you're saying that if he ain't got no willpower, you just going to be like, I'm going to leave you right here where you at. But if he has something, if he needs some help, you're willing to help him and work with him and assert
I'm
a
willing
bit.
to help and work to a certain degree.
Okay.
Now, in my younger years, I would have done a lot more. And at this stage,
If you meet like I mean, we're both married, and so but at this stage, like it doesn't. But if you're our age and you're meeting somebody they don't have something going on.
if all they have to offer is a D,
yes, yeah,
you might want to keep it moving.
You might want to keep it moving.
Well, it's not even worth your time.
Like, what are you doing here?
But women that find yourself in that situation, ask yourself this question: why do you settle for less? Why do you not think you deserve more?
But you know what? Women our age, we settle. We settle. I think we get to I think we're like, you know what? We're older, and like the time that we have to develop with somebody's really not out there. You're just gonna take what you can, and just to say you have a man and some sort of happiness. You want a companion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want somebody to die with.
I agree. I agree with you, because I do know women in my age realm that will settle.
Yeah.
And I know women in my age realm, I'm in my 50s, that have never been married, and they feel like life's gave them a short hand to deal
Right,
with.
because they didn't have a man to call their husband.
Because society has taught us that the best relationship, or the climax of a relationship, is to become a wife.
Right.
Well, being married ain't for everybody. Marriage is not for everybody.
Right.
I love my husband. I'm not going to necessarily say that I recommend that you have to be married, though. It is what it is.
I love my hubby too.
But marriage is work.
Marriage is work.
Don't sell yourself short hoping for something that you don't have. And most people spend more time focusing on what they don't have than looking at the value in what they do have.
Right, absolutely.
And you sell yourself short.
Okay, so we're going to end this. This was great conversation, and we'll be back. Yes. Myself and Lin will be back. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And remember to raise your vibrations.